After the past 3 days on Capitol Hill, we've had a lot of discussion by the SEC, the Finance Committee, as well as congressmen grilling them. What is happening in our industry, and why is the world laughing at the United States? We have action-packed video today, full of different articles. But first, we want to go over what's happening with Do Kwon. Something about a stick, and where did he keep his crypto at again? Eek. All on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, as well as non-fungible tokens, NFTs. I'm going to kind of get through this today pretty quick, go through these articles since we have so many. There's a couple of videos in here I definitely want to go over. We kind of laugh it off about how politics are becoming more and more involved into crypto. And it's not so much about what's good for us, the retail investor, or what's good about the United States. It's only what's good about the politicians and who pays them. If you like our video here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, 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 boom. There it is right there. All right, let's jump in the first one. Here, XRP, the XRP army has been out there and they've been just dying. When is this case going to end? And actually, everybody, all this week, all the discussions over the hill, is Ethereum a commodity or security? Is XRP a commodity or security? We know one thing's for sure. The SEC and the CFTC will never make their minds up. They won't put out regulation. They want to use 80-year-old, rules to say that's happening for today's technology, which was never even put in place for it because they're just extending their reach way beyond. So what's the very first case that's going to come to fruition here? It's going to be the Ripple XRP case versus the SEC. You already had the judges already ripped the SEC on multiple occasions because they just can't get their story straight. They keep changing it, whether him in emails is his personal opinion or is it SEC opinion. What a mess. And even Gary Gensler just blew it, just said basically the same thing over and over at the Hill on Tuesday. He couldn't figure out what his opinion was when he was there, and he's the head of the SEC. So here we go with John Deaton. He is a crusader here. He's one of the lawyers in the case, and he represents 76,000 XRP holders. And this is how he looks at the end here. It says, if you look at the previous cases by Judge Torres, somewhere between March 6th and May 6th. So the motions, the Dalbert motions were all, she put them out on March 6th. So typically they have a judgment within the next 2 months or 60 days. So that's where he's coming up with March 6th and then May 6th. You will get the ruling. This is a general timeline for summary judgment decision. Yes, can we wait 2.5 more weeks, people, or even 2 weeks? Yes, we can. We waited this long. The whole industry is waiting this long because they just don't see any clarity coming out of any regulator here in the United States. And unfortunately, it just makes all of us look bad in the United States. What are we really doing here? I think more and more countries, as they want to break away from us, our allies, because it's just become politics that are clogging up our system. It's not becoming anything less, anything more than that. And the rest of the world wants to move on and innovate while we sit here and argue over, ESG or all the other crap that they don't even care about. Let's go on next. All right. So Do Kwon, Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon and CFO charged with forgery in Montenegro. Prosecutors, well, they say, this guy's had all kinds of problems. It looks like, he opened his mouth. He thought he was God, king. Look how much he's gained weight. It's ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, he was knocked off the crown. I don't know how many influencers kissed this guy's ass. Rand Neuter, Crypto Banner, kissed his ass. Every day he had him on. He had something to do with this guy. He was a fraud from minute one. What he did was he got people to put up money and to invest in him when he wasn't even stable enough. So, then we saw this in Reddit, which is kind of funny. We just go on to the next thing here. Let's go ahead, click it. This was from Reddit. It says Trezor stick found in Terra Luna founder Do Kwon during thorough body inspection. Now, I don't know if this is a parody. I don't know if this is coming out, but Where do they find that his crypto at on his cold wallet? Let's go take a look. Let's go look here. Well, there's a body scan. Obviously, this is all bullshit. I can't imagine this popping out. How embarrassing. I don't think he ate it. I think it got in other ways. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah. But I think it's pretty funny anyways to think that, you know, look at his face now. It's skinny right now. Look at him. He's just bad. All right, let's jump to the next thing. Crypto Erie had come out, and this is a little parody of what happened on Thursday on the Hill. What you do is you have, this is a congressman from California who was one of the head guys at the finance services, and he is like Mr. Anti-Crypto, right? He is telling you that it's worthless, there's nothing going on. He won't do the research. He has a law degree, so we're all laughing at him because he's a lawyer, but he's about as closed mind, woke motherfucker as you could come up with. And then we come up with an expert that's going to talk about stable coins, and that's been my advocate. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Wow, it's not even NFT time, and she's a little needy. All right, let's jump right into it. This is Congressman Brad Sherman from California. You know, we're all here from California, and it is woke state madness.
Our payment system, you got Apple Pay, comes right out of your checking account. It's not as good as what the crypto world promises they'll deliver in some future decade, but it's way better than what the crypto world delivers now, and I am sure that payment systems using the dollar will get better. So what is the problem?
In the current environment, we are failing at making this happen as a country. Our regulation is currently chaos for stablecoins. If I am an issuer and I want to create a stablecoin, I technically don't know if I'm going to be answering to a state regulator, a federal banking regulator, the SEC, the CFTC, and it puts you in the same position as if you were out with friends and you were going to play, you know, some sports game and somebody tells you, well, we may enforce the rules of baseball or football or basketball, and we're not going to tell you which in advance, and maybe some of them will all apply at the same time. It's unworkable.
The problem is it's damn hard to cheat on your taxes, and it's damn hard to run a drug sales operation with the US dollar.
Okay, so we're going to stop right there for a minute. Okay. Brad Sherman is obviously anti-crypto, and everything that comes out of his mouth is just a excuse why he doesn't even want to look at innovation. But let's just go over some of the dumbest things that you could say. The US dollar is probably pretty close to the greatest currency that's being used for drug cartels right now on the border, Brad, on your border. Come on. You know, it's being used to launder money. Cash, green cash, cannot be traced. If I were to give producer Emi $1 right now, you could never trace it. Never trace it. And guess what? If I bought something from her, you couldn't get state sales tax and you couldn't collect it, right? Mm-hmm. It is the #1 currency in the world in which you can evade taxes from. The #1. You can't even come close. There's no second place in this. That's #1. Number 2. Hey, Brad, let's go check out your tax returns. How did you have all that millions of dollars when you didn't roll into the Congress with all those millions of dollars? Are you evading taxes? How did you get it? This is all the questions that we typically want to ask these guys because it just seems to be paying a lot more than $200,000 in salary. But with that being said, we know that if just on the border itself, what is green cash being used at? #1, it's being used as a drug trade. It's being used as payment to cross the border. It's being used to buy and sell human trafficking, all with the US dollar. Why? Because the dollar is more stronger than the Mexican peso. You gotta have dollars there, right? Is anyone paying taxes? No. Are they using it for illegal use? Absolutely. You will never hear him say this. Why? Because he gets paid. His campaign contributions are coming from where? You got it. Chase, Wells, all those finance company, all those financial institutions. What do? They give him campaign contributions, and then they tell him they send him on the way. Let's keep listening.
Blockchains have a significant degree of transparency that's not present in markets.
We're gonna listen again.
Transparency that's not present in markets like actual cash markets, right? When somebody transacts on a blockchain, it's public. We may not always know right now who transacted, but you know the amount, the time, the wallets they traded with, what they sent back and forth. And with the richness of data, it's just a matter of time until you can identify the wallets. This is a huge data analysis tool to enforce our rules on the financial system that we are potentially giving away.
So let's go over what he just said. Okay, he's telling you the blockchain is permissionless and it's not faulty. Meaning, let's take those same smuggler cartel on the border, and if they were using crypto, what would they do? Well, they'd have to get their pesos or their dollars, take them out of the bank, send them to an exchange, okay? And then they turn around and they would take that money and then they would exchange it for crypto and then have to put that currency into their wallet. And then from their wallet, everyone's paying into that wallet. So you can see every single transaction on the blockchain from those drug transactions or the costing for the border, or if there was human trafficking or prostitution, it's all on the blockchain and it is identifiable. So Brad Sherman, are you having any clue what you're talking about? You're just talking about as someone who's been paid off by financial institutions because this technology is already in their face, and there's already companies such as Ripple and XRP that can do it faster, better, and cheaper. No questions asked. This is the nightmare that we're dealing with. That's why I keep saying, when it comes time to voting, these are the people you want to vote out. They don't care about anything except their pocketbook. Who lines their pocketbook? The highest bidder. All right, let's jump in the next here. Bitcoin whale moves nearly 8 million after 10 years of inactivity. It's kind of funny how all of a sudden now all these Bitcoin wallets are starting to move. This one hasn't been touched in 10 years. Now they're all moving. What are they doing? Well, let's take this. Let's take it in logically. If Bitcoin was actually going to hit $100,000 tomorrow, would you start moving Bitcoin around? No, you'd leave it in the wallet. Okay? But if Bitcoin was going to dump and you wanted to take profit today, you absolutely would move it, put it on exchange, or sell it to another wallet on a private sale, even though it's still recorded on the blockchain. This is why we know these things are happening, because it's not like the wallet in your back pocket that has green cash in it, that when I go hand, $1,000 over to producer Emi, we don't know what happened. We don't get taxed. On this, we know exactly the Bitcoin whale's wallet. We know the Ethereum, the hidden wallets that are out there, the disguised whales that bought on the ICO. We all know what their wallet addresses are. So when they move, we can follow the path. And it's going to lead somewhere to a wallet that's been KYC'd, or we can transact it back to exchange, which the exchange received USD, United States dollars, or another type of currency, which comes from where? Bank account. Okay? All can be tracked. That's how we know this. All right, let's jump into the next one. This is a little commie here that came out on you today. It says Vitalik's breakup caused the market dump. Okay? I'd rather dump on Vitalik more than anything else. He's dumped on all the retail. He dumped on me at 4,500 back in October of 2021. How did he know the top? Very interesting. Oh, the Ethereum Foundation knew the top too. Very interesting as well. Okay? It's all market manipulation, and he's all part of it. All right, let's jump right into the NFT section. Here we go. Emi, how are you doing?
I still feel like flaming hot garbage, but here I am.
Flaming hot Cheeto garbage.
Cheeto garbage.
All right. Well, you've seemed to dodge this last couple of days, and I thought today you might want to jump on. I heard a lot of little scuffling over here, so.
I was just coughing.
And that was the way that some women like to get my attention. All right, let's jump into it. New Starbucks NFTs attract 166,000 in trading volume since Wednesday's launch. Very interesting.
So we've covered that Starbucks was doing an NFT collection. I want to say 2 or 3 times because we released a few different updates on it. Wednesday they did go live and
Initial surge.
yeah, 2,000.
So they offered 5,000 more after releasing 2,000. So now it didn't sell out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
They're $99 a piece. But the part that I'm confused on is like exactly what you get for it.
And it's limited to these Odyssey members, right? So they just limited. You know, I mean, it just so much is going on with these different companies where they'll give out like, you know, the limited edition and then the special edition. And I mean, I think as we, you know, just like we saw with the Trump cards or Trump NFTs, his second edition hurt his first edition. And so it's not as limited, it's not as sexy anymore. And I think that's what's happening here with Starbucks.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Okay.
Coming soon from the producers of Wolf of Wall Street, NFTs, actually one of my favorite movies of all time. To cash in the movie's enduring popularity, the producers plan to sell digital tokens based on iconic scenes. Where is Walter White?
Yeah, I would like to see a Breaking Bad NFT collection. I think that could be really fun. And like we said before, I think a lot of TV shows as well as movies, you know, each scene is going to be minted as an NFT with the really popular scenes being more exclusive and expensive and all those X words.
Right. X words. So, I mean, I get it. We're all here to make money, right? But sometimes it seems a little over the top.
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, we go back to the Rolling Stones that won't even say the word NFTs.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. When they're popping out NFTs. And other times NFT it's not a bad word, guys. It's not a bad word.
Yeah, it's not a 4-letter word for sure.
Right. Or a 3-letter agency. All right, let's move on. She drives me nuts sometimes. A heavy demand for Madlads NFT breaks internet, delays mint. I always like this. Why does it always happen to Solana Network? Because it's garbage. Garbage. I have said this once. It is a cesspool of VCs that dump on their retail.
Maybe that's why it's called Madlads.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's kind of funny because the NFT is the one that had the problem. It's not Solana on this time. The NFT project that they had plenty of time to put together ends up having a problem. There's all these people that were sitting in their Discord, not their Discord, what is it? Twitter Spaces the other day, and they're all chomping at the bit to get one. Why? Because they want to flip it. Let's be honest. Yeah. They want to flip it. Solana continues. They've lost their 2 biggest NFT projects. They both left. And you're seeing projects leaving the system as a whole in general because no one can work on a system that continues to go down. Right now, Cardano is so much better. I mean, we can go over other places where you can buy NFT, Hedera, HBAR. I mean, think about this. They're doing billions of a billion transactions a month on that. It never goes down. You're looking at XRPL, Ripple's XRPL. I mean, they're almost minted in 6 months, 1 million NFTs on there. Never had a problem. It's never been unsecured. It's never been broken. And then people still talk about Solana, who's just it's like a broken car that you can't.
Solana is the DMV.
Solana is it's that that hot neighbor next to you that has a great car, but just sits in their driveway all the time because they can't drive it because it never works. So you're like, oh, it's hot, it's cool. Hey, can we go for a ride? Oh no, the carburetor doesn't work. Oh no, the exhaust isn't. Oh no, it always has a problem. And after a while, you're like, well, dude, I just got a Tesla. I'm gonna kick its ass. It's not even around anymore, right?
Yeah.
No one even cares anymore. This is why it's just a joke. And I think the heavy demand here is because the popularity of this, but more importantly, it's the flipping possibilities that you can flip it, make 2-3 times your money if you can get it, and you move on.
NFT flipping is like how sneaker flipping used to.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Right, but now it's a lot more riskier because the currency's down. Some of the trading is down. Everything's down now.
Well, it's kind of like, let's say like back in the day, we'll use the Air Force Ones. covered
Okay.
the Nike swoosh collection thing. Let's say back in the day, you wanted to give a pair of Air Force Ones to flip. You had to figure out what store was going to be releasing them, line up, and hope to God you get some good sizes, right? So Solana's kind of like, Solana NFT is like, you try to get the Air Force One, but like, you only got a men's 6.
A men's 6,
Yeah.
right? It just, yeah. I'm just, you see that I am pretty opinionated about things. And when people talk about, these older blockchains out there, it's almost like talking like relics.
Yeah.
But people act like they have some kind of relevance today, and you don't realize how many projects keep leaving them because that isn't sexy to talk about, right? Solana is just, I'm not a Solana fan. Yeah, did I lose money on Solana? Absolutely.
Are you bitter? Are you salty? Yes, absolutely.
Well, because
I understand it though.
But we all know that they lied about circulating supply.
Everything.
They lied about, they pumped it. They caught 2 guys that were pumping fake wash trading it all the way up. And then we find out, oh, that was all wash trading, wasn't even purchasing. And they got everyone in and then they would dump it. And the VCs had it. If Kevin O'Leary has it, it's pretty much a pump and dump. Because that's all he gets is pump and dump. That's all he wanted to do. If FTX is holding it, one of the only coins he's holding, it's pretty much a pump and dump.
So between Kevin O'Leary and who's the other guy? If he says one thing, you do the other.
Oh, it's Jim Cramer.
So between O'Leary and Kramer, you can kind of figure out.
Yeah,
what.
the nightmare on Crypto Street. Well, you guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I know we went a little long here, but a lot of fun and a lot of info. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Bye.